And everyone to the Type of Fun Podcast, 14th edition of the 37th show of the year. And we want to welcome in everybody. I don't know. I'm looking. It wasn't counting down for some reason, Ray. So anyway, maybe it's something with Facebook, YouTube, or StreamYard. Getting
Okay.
and I want to welcome everybody in. Today, of course, it is September 15th. And like I said, it's 37th show of the year. Today, we got two great guests, Stephen Borghardt and Rob Camarda. I mean, Ray, you've flown with Rob, and I think you met Steve through the internet or through YouTube.
Yep, right on YouTube. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got some great videos, that's for sure.
Yeah, and of course, guys, I want to tell you about we do have a Facebook page, and we also have a group page for the Fly for Fun show where you can post your videos and drone related stuff. So we'd be glad to have anything you want to put on there, and it's a great way to stay in touch with your fellow droners. We'll be giving away some Fly for Fun stickers and some. I got some Fly Zone stickers. We got some new Fly for Fun stickers. Different
Live capture live connection.
Got some Stevie. We'll throw anything in there. And we'll do our 2-part 107 questions for the this month. We're giving away a Johnny Drone Flyer hat, and we will also, Ray. We're doing the we kind of got off track with the hurricane and stuff. We're giving away that T-shirt, and we have 6 names in the hat, and we'll do that about 30 minutes into the show. So we'll draw for that in a little bit. And if you need a drone guide, I do have the drone guide that I put together. I will email it to you, or we'll get it out to you. Just message me on Facebook or send me an email. We'll get that out to you. Want to wish we got a couple birthdays, and if anybody knows anybody that has a birthday, just let us know in the chat. Captain Ray's wife Cheryl birthday is today. And Captain Ray, I think he bought a new Rolex or something, but he was trying to buy a new drone. But yeah, and I want to wish Cheryl happy birthday. She's gonna have to stick her head in the chat here in a little bit, Ray. And
yeah,
then
I'm trying. I've been trying.
Somebody else had a birthday. I thought today in my drones and coffee, but if you know somebody, and then of course the host tomorrow is my birthday, so.
That's right.
Big
day tomorrow for you, Johnny.
My sister-in-law's birthday is today, and the little lady I stayed with because she had air conditioning over across from Susan. She is 87 today. So
God bless her.
Yeah, and it's her birthday, and then so it's a lot of birthdays. It was a busy night 9 months ago. I can tell you that.
You Virgos, that's what it is. You Virgos.
Yeah, so Captain Ray, I just want to shout out to everybody about we're still in continuing to rebuild over here. I know Phyllis. I'm looking at her house through my back window here. They just got power about an hour ago. Some people still don't have power, but and we got poured on with about 5 inches of rain last night again through this little tropical depression. They're calling a little bit for some more rain tonight, but it's kind of getting depressing, but it is what it is. We can't do anything about it. We can gripe a little bit, I guess, and a lot of people are a lot less fortunate than we were because they got trees through their houses, and you read on Facebook. I mean, I got friends all over that's they're pouring water in their house, and they got one house down the street. They never cut the pine tree off. It's got the tarp over the whole tree. So, but anyway. We're hoping, I don't know, it was something like the 17th landfall hurricane in the last 18 months. And of course, of which Louisiana had 6. So, anyway.
Well, I'll tell you, Johnny, I feel for you. I really do. But I'm just so glad that you and your family are safe, and the other people in your neighborhood are safe. And that's the bottom line,
We'll get to it, Ray. If you want to,
but I tell you, we got a great crowd in the house
if you want
already.
To read some names, let's invite.
JC flying. He was number 1. Jim Beauchart, he was number 2, and we're always glad to see those guys. And then we got Drone Shots, Jody, great supporter of everybody's channel. Maddie, good to see you, and Angela, Lost Girl Hikes. And we got Barry up in Massachusetts. Good to see you. Gary, Brand Aerials. I'm going down the list here. Herman, Phantom Flight 101.
Yeah, and they just
I'm sorry I couldn't get in to watch you, but I was out having a birthday dinner with my wife tonight, Herman. So I just barely got back for this. But anyway, Artgo, how you doing? Drone Life, RC, good to see you. Chris Wedgeworth. Good to see you. Doc Murdoch's in the house. How you doing, Doc? Mendez, Drone Ops. Good to see you. And let's see. I'm trying to go up this list, and I know I'll probably miss somebody if I go too fast. But we got a great Alan from Ireland. How you doing, Drone Views Media? We got a great crowd in the house. Lawrence, Novice Quads. Hello, sir. Good to see you. I mentioned these names, but Johnny, I flew with those guys, and that's Lawrence and Herman. But I also flew with our guest, Rob Camarda. I was lucky enough to fly with them and Stevie Bronx. He's not in the chat right now, but last Friday, and we had a mini meetup in Huntington Bay, and we had such a good time. We really did. I can't say enough about flying with them because they're excellent pilots, and I don't consider myself an excellent pilot by any means. I'm very conservative, but the Huntington Lighthouse was out there, and it was just a great location to fly. We flew from the private beach, and it was a great day, and nobody lost a drone in the water, which is always good. But I think you got a little bit of that video.
Yeah, let me see if I can share.
Want to show it.
Let me share a little bit of that, and we'll.
Dustin, how you doing, Dustin Gable? And Paulie, Drone Bum, good to see you. Leonard, JSK, here we go. There's Stevie.
We'll kind of jump around a little bit, but
Rob's in the background there. How you doing, Stevie? You made it. So, what do you think about this spot?
It's amazing. It's an amazing spot, and we got a lighthouse.
I never saw Stevie without his hat on.
We're gonna venture out and take.
I told him he's not allowed to wear a Yankee hat.
With the drones, you know how we do.
Well, I'm telling you, Rob, how did you find this secret spot?
Driving with my wife. My wife always gives me the best ideas to stake out places before you want to go there. So we got permission from the town to be here, which is amazing. I wanted to thank George Tomlinson for letting us be here today, which is great. I mean, this is beautiful. You can't make it any nicer. You got to give the audience a view of the lighthouse and everything else, not just my ugly bug.
Oh man, we're gonna have a great.
This is as I said, the Wincoma Beach.
Yeah.
It is great access to the Huntington Lighthouse. Like tomorrow is going to be music.
That beach, and George was such a nice guy. He was, and he gives us a little information about the lighthouse. But look at this beach.
And
wow,
really.
And I was off heading to the lighthouse.
And Ray, that lighthouse was how far was that lighthouse out there?
Yeah, well, again, it was 1,800 feet. Initially we thought it was about 1,000 feet, but it was out there.
I love doing
Beautiful.
Yeah, I learned my reverse drone from Marcus Crawford, Idaho quadcopter. I watched him do it, and I copied it, and I like doing that on takeoff. But there were plenty of boats, and again, I don't like chasing them too close.
But as you can see, Huntington Bay is beautiful, and on the weekends there's that is a good-looking bird.
That's Stevie's.
Oh, there's his. Yeah, you got to get his takeoff with the FPV.
We'll be out of here, up and out of here.
Yeah.
Look at him go.
Yeah, Stevie flew his FPV, and he can fly that bird. He really can. He was out by the lighthouse in no time.
Yeah, I bet he was.
Actually, on this little part of the video, that barge that's being towed actually crashed into the channel marker, the green channel marker.
And it doesn't seem to be damaged.
But there was no damage to it, luckily, But I did capture that on video. But it was just a fun day. Anytime you have a meetup, and, we've had them, Johnny, we have the big one down at South Florida, and we had a great turnout for that, and we anticipate a great turnout for the one next year on April 2nd, 2022.
Yeah,
Ray, Beach, Florida.
Yeah, and since you got back from Florida to New York, I mean, you've had quite a few meetups, so that's pretty cool, And then Brad Austin came. He was here for the hurricane. Well, I mean, he got to come to Hammond with the ATMs, and it's funny. You talk about different flying. Brad, he put the Mini 2 up in my driveway, and man, man, he just took off, and like I'm like, where's the drone? You know, he was all over the place. But yeah, it's just different styles. But man, I had a great time with Brad, and then of course Ken Hoffbauer stopped by for a few minutes on the way to Baton Rouge. But yeah, it's funny. The different, and you get to see everybody's flying techniques too.
Yeah, I was so glad that you had the opportunity to fly with Brad, even though it was sort of a tough situation when you were flying over. But you had a little meetup, which is good.
We had a mini meetup. But yeah, Ray, if you want to introduce,
Steven. I know he's back there. He's eating the shrimp, and did we put lobster back there tonight?
I think he wanted some oysters actually.
But I tell you, Steven Borghardt, he is an amazing drone pilot, and I found him on YouTube, and here he is. Welcome, Steven.
Hey, Steven.
How's it going, guys? And happy birthday, Johnny, and happy birthday to your wife, Ray.
Thanks, thank you. But I've been telling people about your videos, Steve, and I was so impressed with you chasing the bunker and getting the video of those sharks feeding on the bunker. I says, I got to ask you to be on our show, and thank you for agreeing to come on.
Yeah, that was a fun little trip out over by Barrett Beach, just over the ocean, and seeing the huge schools of bunker out there. I don't know if I got any sharks. You didn't see them, but you definitely saw the bunker making their way quickly away from the area. So, but it was it's good stuff, man.
No,
next couple of weeks, I will give you a call next time I head out over that direction, because I definitely want to head out there now that the water's starting to get cooler. Hopefully, we'll see maybe some sharks, maybe some stingrays, skates, or whatever. And if we get really lucky, maybe there'll be a humpback out there.
Now, how far are y'all apart? I mean,
20 minutes, just 25 minutes.
25 minutes.
Cool.
I'd actually like to come up on the North Shore too. So.
Yeah. No. For the people in the chat, Steven is from Long Island. He's on the South Shore of Long Island. And, Steve, we try to let the viewers get to know you. So we would like to know how you became involved with drones and, any other information you want to share with the viewers.
So originally, I'm a nature photographer. That's my first love, right? My day job is I work in finance, but I don't want to talk about that right now. Mm-hmm. But really, I try to get out every weekend with my cameras, and I got a whole slew of lenses. I shoot primarily with a Nikon D850, but I call what I do as far as that stuff goes is really nature portraiture, right? And not only do I try to capture animals and stuff, but also rare plants and whatnot. So that's really where it kind of started. I'm also friends with Mike Bush, and I know Mike is pretty well known on Long Island for his drone stuff. So one day I said, you know what? I've been putting this off for so long. Let me pick up a used Mavic Pro. Let me see what I could do with it. I got a call when I was just about to hit the buy button. I had a call from a friend of mine who works at Save the Sound, who said, listen, do you have a drone? I said, well, come to think of it, I'm thinking about buying one. She goes, well, I'm currently working with a German filmmaker on a short film about Plum Island, and we need somebody to go out there with a drone with us. I'm like,
oh, wow.
Okay. She says, but you're going to need your 107. Okay, I can do that. Okay. So luckily, I studied for a couple of like 4 or 5 days. I got my 107, and then we went out to Plum Island. Initially with a sailboat, which was a pretty near disaster, but we got some great footage. We went out later on off the back of a fishing boat, and I got some really good footage. And we went out there early in the morning, just as the sun was coming up. So you have all the beautiful golden colors and everything else. That's perfect for me as far as a photographer goes. So I got the Mavic Pro up off there, and they kind of let me know. It's like, listen, you are the first person to take a drone in this area around over Plum Island. There's one hitch. Should your drone land at Plum Island, don't plan on getting it back because
that's it.
It's gone. Because the security will pick it up and that's it. You'll never see it again. So, but that was fun. I did that. I haven't released it yet on YouTube because I'm waiting for them to put out their short video, little montage thing about Plum Island. They told me to hold off because they want to use my video in that, and they don't want my video to kind of compete against that. Not that I think it would, but I'll release that shortly. But that was kind of my introduction to drones.
Wow.
I really enjoyed the Pro. I ended up getting an Autel Evo 2 Pro last Christmas, and I more recently picked up a Mini 2. But the Autel Evo 2 Pro is, to me, is, you know, the pictures I get off of that, the photography wise, if it's set up correctly in good conditions, really almost rival the DSLR. It's that good. With that 1-inch sensor, you know, the optics of the lens on it, it's just really, really good. Of course, I shoot only in RAW. I don't do any JPEG shots, so I get the full use of the 1-inch sensor with all the data that's part of that in the RAW format.
Okay.
But yeah, I really enjoy it. I enjoy the Mini 2 as well. The reason I got it, because in the wintertime I try to get out into some tight spots, you know, in the woods and stuff. And that's primarily where I want to use the Mini.
I gotcha. Yeah.
There's a whole slew of these rare species of trees out of the East End. They're actually dwarf Atlantic white cedar, which you want to get shots of. They're only in one area, and I think this is one of the only 2 places on the East Coast where they are. I don't want to give up the spot, but I'm going to get out there this winter and do some shots for
the secret spot, secret location.
Yeah, I want to do some shots for Long Island Botanical and give it to the folks over there, and that's kind of where my focus is. It's not so much commercial stuff, you know, mapping or, you know, farms or anything like that. It's really I'm gearing my stuff towards really the nature portion of it to capture stuff like that.
Interesting, very interesting. Yeah. I tell you, you didn't take baby steps getting involved with drones. You went right in.
Yeah, you went full circle real quick.
Yeah. You know, but again, it's very interesting. And you know, the other guest that's coming on, Rob, he flies an Autel Evo 2 Pro also. So you guys got something in common there, you know. But the other big question that we ask, and these are not big questions, it's just getting to know you a little bit. But which is your favorite drone? You know, if you had a favorite, if you had to choose,
right now it's the Autel.
Oh, okay, yeah,
absolutely, hands down. I sold the Mavic Pro as soon as I picked up the Mini. You know, but there's one thing I didn't like about the Pro is it takes sharp pictures, and it's sharper than the Mini, but the color palette is like leans to the yellowish greenish, and you can notice it in a lot of the videos. To me, it's the color palette's kind of awful. As you know, from my standpoint, I don't. I like the clarity, but just the tint is a bit too warm for me. Of course, you can fix that stuff in post, but I'd rather not mess with that stuff too much. So I sold off the Mavic Pro, but to me, the Autel is just an awesome piece of machinery. And I haven't fully utilized all the features and everything, and everything can really do. So,
you know, Johnny, you can always tell when we got a professional photographer on as a guest. You know.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, you know, and that the drone, you know, the photography and of course the drone, you know, of course it's a flying camera, and I know, I envy those guys because they know so much about, you know, like I'm colorblind and I can't see colors that great, so it's like when you was talking about the yellowish green, you know, it probably wouldn't look much different to me, but yeah, you guys know so much about the apertures and the ND filters and all that, so man, it's so much to it, and you know, man, when you see a really, I know Eddie Nunez, and I've seen some of yours, and I mean, some of those guys do some incredible shots, you know.
Yeah, I think somebody just asked on the chat if I saw the white cedar at Prosser Pines. Those are actually white pines, not white cedar. Atlantic white cedar only grows in water or right next to water. So Prosser Pines, those are actually white pine, eastern white pines.
Okay, yeah. See, I'm not familiar, so I really don't know anything about them. Pine tree's a pine tree. And
I
oak tree is an oak tree.
I could go on for a while, but you'd probably start losing visitor after visitor, and there'd be us three at the end because they'd be so bored. So
well, I tell you what, nobody wants anything pine trees around here right now. I can tell you that. That's a sore subject. So
let me say hello to Bob Casey. How you doing? And Eddie Nunez, good to see you. Hot Rod in Daytona, good to see you. Justin Jones A63, Robert Racing, good to see you. But anyway, Stephen, another question that we ask our guests is if you had a dream location anywhere in the world to fly legally, where would that be for you?
Oh, anywhere in the world?
Yeah.
I think, quite honestly, is a place that I've been to in the past in the Philippines, to Al Volcano. I actually hiked there back in 2018.
Okay.
That's a place I would love to take a drone. Unfortunately, I got some phenomenal shots when I went there. Beautiful, beautiful place. And the next year, me and my boss were coming in from Hong Kong, and we couldn't land because, unfortunately, the volcano had exploded. So we had to come back to the States. So the whole place has changed now. But I think, to me, getting out with a Southeast Asia, places like that, and getting into spots where very few people ever go, that to me would be phenomenal. Now, getting more local, my next kind of target is the waterfront in Greenport.
Yeah, okay, Greenport.
There's a lot of cool history there. There's an old submarine that was used in the movie 1970s movie Raise the Titanic.
I didn't hear about that.
There's a couple of sunken ships in there. Oh yeah, there's a whole story about that submarine. A guy, he was a complete fraudster. I think he's in jail now for tax evasion. But there's a great story about that, and in some of the local papers. But there's a lot of cool maritime history in there. That's another area I'd like to get into and film, but I got to find a very cool, kind of a discreet spot so I can take off.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. But, you brought up submarines, and, I had a chance to fly the yellow submarine in Brooklyn with those guys, Lawrence and Herman. They held a meetup, and that was our target, to fly out to that submarine. Are you familiar with that one?
Yeah, I actually used to live in Coney Island many, many years ago. I lived in Seagate for a while. I didn't realize that submarine was there when I lived there, but I'm aware of it. Yeah.
All right.
It's a very short and sad history, but it's
exactly. Day one.
Yep. Sank right away.
How you doing, Gene?
Well, Captain,
good to see you.
Let's put this first question up, and we'll get Rob in here, and then we'll kind of ask him a couple other questions together, if we would. If you want to read this first question, Captain.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Fatigue is one of the most treacherous hazards to flight safety. A, because it results in slow performance. B, as it may not be apparent until serious errors are made. Or C, causes nothing. Anybody know that answer?
We'll keep up with that, and we'll.
I know.
But
I'll let you guys do.
I think we have the correct answer already, but
yeah. But that's good.
I think it's Brian Eric Gary, I think.
Yeah, Gary had it first. Yeah, so congratulations, Gary.
The correct answer is it happens before you know it there. So it's always you don't never think of fatigue as a problem, but it can be,
Well, Gary, your name's going to go in the hat for next month's drawing. So anyway,
Captain, if you want to introduce, let's get Rob in here. He's sitting.
Yeah, I tell you, Rob, he's back there in the green room, and he loves shrimp, so he probably would love to stay back there. But we're gonna bring him out. And there he is. How you doing, Rob?
Hey, Rob, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Welcome.
Okay.
Welcome.
Right. How are you?
I told them.
Now I can hear you.
I told everybody that I had the opportunity to fly with you again on Friday, and you picked that great location in Huntington Bay, Well,
it was your location. I just got us access to that private beach, which
it was great. We had a mini meetup, as I called it, and you were flying your Ortel Evo.
Yeah, I had the Ortel Evo 2 Pro with the 6K sensor. I also flew the Mavic Pro 2 and the DJI FPV.
And the other thing is, the other guest, and I don't know if you know Steven. Steven, meet Rob. Rob, meet Steven.
How are you, Steve?
But he flies he flies an Ortel Evo 2 Pro also.
Yeah, I fly all three sensors with the Evo 2. I have the dual 640T, but I use that for fire service calls.
Right.
SARS missions, structure fires, and the like.
Really? You're a fireman?
Wow.
Yes.
Cool. Excellent.
Here in Long Island, not in the city.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I'm an ex-firefighter, Rob.
Welcome, brother.
7 years, yeah.
Yeah. But Rob, some of the people heard your story already, but some of the people haven't. So if you don't mind, you could share how you became involved with drones, and anything else you want to share.
The first drone I flew was a Zero Tech Dobby, I think it was called. It was just a 4K camera drone, still shot, not video. As a hobbyist, I didn't become a Part 107 until I think it's a year now, September last year. Wow, so it's been a year.
Okay.
Again, I was just flying recreationally, fixing friends' drones, and just flying after I repaired them. And I'm like, you know what? I'll jump into this. So, I started flying. We're starting a drone program within the department right now. Myself and one other member are a 107 pilot. We're in the process of filing the COA, which is a daunting task, especially when you haven't done one before. So,
is there a lot to it? A lot to it, right?
There's a lot of documentation. It's pretty straightforward, but there's a lot of documentation that has to go along with everything.
Rob, are y'all gonna use it more for training, or I mean, does it help doing an actual fire, or?
It helped. Well, not for it's. We won't use the Autel for training. We'll use that for actual structure fires or SARS missions. Right. We really don't have search and rescue missions in our department, but our neighboring departments that are a little further north of us have asked me to fly for them as well. And I said, just call me and I'll come there for water rescues and such with a FLIR drone. The contrast with the 640T sensor, you'll if I'm in the right area, you'll find someone pretty quickly.
Really? Wow.
Rob, Jean has a question up for you. She wanted to know what department you're with. Syosset.
Yeah. SYOSSET. Great department. I've been a member since 2001. So I have a little bit of experience.
Well, like she said earlier, thank you for your service. Means a lot.
It's great. It's great to be part of the brotherhood. That is the fire service. A lot of good times, a lot of good memories.
Oh my God! Yeah, if those walls could talk in the fire department.
Oh yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
And we had some really great meals in the fire department. I can tell you that.
We still do.
Yeah,
we still do.
But this past week, Rob, you had an opportunity to fly and get some shots of the 9/11 lights, correct?
Yes. Myself and Lawrence met in Red Hook. A nice little spot that he picked out. It worked out great. It was just him and I for the first hour. Our intention was to wait until the TFR was lifted. It was supposed to lift at 8 p.m. It wound up lifting, I think, about 6:30 or 6:45. So we're able to get up and actually get some nice shots of the sun setting by the Statue of Liberty, and then some great contrast shots with the lights from a local dock, the tower light, and the sun setting in the background. I had posted one picture. I haven't put a video up yet, but it made for a great dramatic foreground and background that way.
It was, that photograph was very impressive. It was, and Eddie Nunez is in the chat also, and he took quite a few photographs of the 9/11 lights. Yeah, and they were phenomenal photos. But I look forward to your video, Rob.
Yeah, I believe they flew out of New Jersey and came over from the, I guess, Hudson River side, where we were on the East River side.
Okay.
There was a group there. I'm not comfortable flying around a lot of pilots. There's just too much communication that has to go on.
Exactly.
And then there was the manned aviation, and there was a point where the helicopter was at 175, maybe even lower.
Wow.
And I'm like, all right, I'm staying down. This isn't worth it.
Yep.
This isn't
not at all. I've had similar experiences too with helicopters. Police helicopters come out of
hey,
nowhere.
We got a winner, Johnny. We got a winner.
Michael Blade.
Hey, Michael, congratulations. Yeah. But anyway, we'll send you those stickers, Michael. You know, yeah, the helicopters, they come out of nowhere sometimes. You know,
they were lifting, I believe, out of the seaport, and then obviously they have to get to their altitude at about at least 300 feet. I know they're really not supposed to fly lower, but they're helicopters. They can go kind of wherever they want. So and as unmanned aviation, we obviously have to
yield
away.
Right.
And
yeah.
Yeah, I often wonder, we got some Black Hawks that are stationed out of Hammond here. Man, I'll tell you what, of course, you don't really need nothing to let you know they're coming except your ears.
Yeah.
And they vibrate the house when they roll by. But I'll tell you what, they're not very high. I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we were constantly checking the altitude with an app that Lawrence had turned us on to, Ray, in Huntington.
Flight radar, right?
We were just picking the aircraft and getting the altitude, speeds, distance. So it was really useful to manage the load and have situational awareness as to what was going on around you.
And I'm sure that went off on a bunch of days with all that going on, probably, huh, Rob?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of, special flights, and I mean, I don't know if I don't know what, that was a big event. Of course, it's always, it's not, to me, I don't really care for anniversaries because, you miss somebody every day of your life if they're gone, but I understand it's, significance of the 20th anniversary,
Yeah, there were a lot of VIPs in town, and the TFRs, I've seen TFRs before, when presidents have come into town.
Sure.
Yep.
But this event, the TFRs extended almost to Suffolk County, well into New Jersey, and into Lower Westchester County.
I think somebody put a picture or something up, or a few. I've seen it, man. It was basically,
it was everywhere. No go.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
It was no go.
So it was so disheartening that I had received my Mini for Christmas 2 years ago, and I was so excited to get that first flight in, and then there was a TFR in my area down there in Palm Beach, but I drove the 45 minutes to get out of it, and I got my Mini up. I got my flight in, but it was, you just can't fly, and you got to check air map. You really do.
Yeah. I don't understand air map, especially for anybody who's on Long Island. I can't get Lance authorization right now. It seems like it's been down for the past week or so. Really? So I put it in, and I get errors coming back and saying please try later. But I don't know if Lance is down on Long Island or around MacArthur Airport. But
what I tried about a month and a half ago, and I had the same issue. Yeah.
I guess they're doing some updates.
It's taken them a long time. I know they changed the ceiling by me from 400 feet down to 0. So now if I want to fly on the weekend from out of my local marina, I gotta plan in advance.
Okay.
I saw a post from Vic Moss about the controlled airspace around airports, that they're going to break it down from 1 mile grids to quarter-mile grids to actually benefit unmanned aviation and give us a little more freedom with altitude.
Okay.
Yeah, for those who are interested, there's a really good Facebook group called Lance, and basically for obviously for drone flyers. So I had a question about why this airspace changed, and a guy pointed me to the exact. There was an app out there. He pointed me to the exact portion of the app. There was a PDF file in there. Apparently, they're doing work on a runway, so they got to bring planes from other areas. So they're coming in and going out over where I usually fly. So that's why the ceiling is down now to 0. But it's odd. It's 400 feet over here, and just a little sliver, it's 0. So
the flight pattern changed.
Yes.
It's funny though, because a couple of weeks ago I flew down in Patchogue on the Patchogue dock. And there is a little indentation on the map where you can just fly right from that dock, and you're right outside the circle. So it's great.
There's also no fly zone where they have the National Park Service buildings in there. Those are also marked off. So.
Right. Exactly. And hey, Bill Thomas, how you doing? Aki Rasho, good to see you too.
Michael Wright, I see Brad Alston's in the house.
Yeah, I tell you, we got a great crowd in the house. Good to see everybody. Thank you for tuning in. They must have heard about our great guest that we were going to have scheduled tonight.
Yeah, Rob, they were Lawrence and Herman was they were talking about you on their show earlier, so they're listening and watching. So
Yeah, they're
say
great guys.
Yeah.
You know, in general, I have to say, I've been pretty negative with people over the past couple of years. This drone community has brought me back to a more normal state of mind. The community has been great, just absolutely great, and it has restored my faith in humanity. Having nothing to do with flying, just the interactions with everybody has been outstanding.
And I experienced the last couple of weeks with this hurricane. I mean, it's been, unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. I mean, everybody reached out to you, Johnny. You know, you had a lot of support there. And, most of the time you have a question. All you got to do is pick up the phone or get in a chat or a Facebook group, and people will be more than happy to help you, Really.
Everybody's been great. Absolutely everybody's been great. And what's funny is the way that I got introduced to Lawrence at Novice Quad was
we never heard that story.
Was Geeks Vana.
Oh, okay.
I was texting with Sean in England, and he says, there's a great group in New York. And that kind of snowballed into me meeting everybody else, the Rhode Island group, and it's been great.
Well, it's something, because the first time I saw you on a live stream, I think you were on Ken Herron's show.
Yeah.
You were a guest on his show, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, I saw him. I didn't realize you were from Long Island, but then I checked your channel. I said, "Oh, look at this! Yeah, I think this guy's from Long Island." And then we started corresponding, and you are. So.
Yes, we started texting back and forth.
Yeah,
I've lived in Long Island now. Again, I had a short stint in Arizona for about 4 years. I lived out there. Lost my shirt. It was the 2007, 2008 time. Lost my shirt. Came back to New York, and I've stayed here ever since.
Well, Long Island is really a great place. I mean, I love it here in the spring, summer, and fall. You can have the winter. And I go to Florida in the winter.
I wish I lived closer to the water. I'm in Syosset. We're kind of right in the middle. So it's not worth getting a boat. For me, I'd either have to leave one in the driveway, which now I have to every time.
Well, if you want to come down with Ray, I have a boat. You guys can meet me now. We can head over, because I live in the South Shore. My boat's right in Blue Point. We can fly off the back. It's only a 21-foot, so if you're okay with tight spaces, I take my Autel Evo 2 Pro off. We can go over to Fire Island and fly over into the ocean.
What kind of boat? A center console or cabin boat or
it's
what?
It's a little 21-foot Sea Pro. It's a little walk around.
A walk around, yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sea Pro was a good boat.
Take you up on that offer.
Yeah.
Stephen, do you do a lot of fishing or no?
I used to go out in the ocean, take the boat out in the ocean. It's even though it's a 21-foot, it has a 100-gallon tank in it, and it's kind of a deep beast. So I used to take it out in the ocean quite a bit, but I got so sick and tired of. I guess, Rob, you're talking about your lack of liking for people at a certain time. Just taking a boat through the Fire Island Inlet, you'll hate a lot of people. Let me tell you, it's like trying to fish and trying to drive in Long Island Expressway during rush hour. Everybody's all over the place. It's almost not even worth it, whether you're coming in or going out. When you're coming back in, it's even worse, because then you got the jet skiers later in the day. So I pretty much stay in the bay. I go over the new inlet area. Occasionally I go over by the bridges or over by Mauritius Bay. I actually have a friend of mine who's doing eelgrass plantings in Shinnecock Bay. So I'm going to take him and some scientists out from Stony Brook University out in Shinnecock Bay and do some aerial stuff where they're doing some plantings over there, probably in October. But next couple of weeks we should get out. I'll let you know, Ray, when I'm going to go out. But as I was telling Ray before, I go early in the morning around sunrise, because that's the best light, the best colors. Yeah. So and usually the fish action's pretty good then. So
golden
Bob,
hour.
I'll definitely oil this chair.
Hey, Stephen, we got a video. You had the inlet too.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can cue that up here, and maybe you can.
I tell you, Stephen, I'm not just saying it because you're on the show. You do great videos.
Thanks.
And maybe you can narrate as Johnny's showing this.
Yeah, so this is the new inlet that was formed during Hurricane Sandy back in 2012.
Wow!
It basically blasted through the Fire Island at what was called Old Inlet, because there was an inlet back in there back in the early 1800s, and actually at one point here you'll see the remnants of the old Smith's Inlet, which was open. But this is just, I flew from the inside of Belport Bay, brought the drone in through the inlet. There's no bunker schools here now, but you can see there's a couple of guys fishing. The color of the water here looks like the Caribbean. It is so clear all through this inlet area, really crystal clear waters. And the tidal flow in here really helps the shellfish growth within the bay. So, I try to get out here every couple of weeks during the summer just to watch the changes. You see all the sand that's built up on the inside of the inlet here. A lot of that sand was part of the beach replenishment project that they did back in Smith Point, where they put millions and millions of pounds of sand. Well, due to the drift of the sand from the east to the west, most of it ended up in Belport Bay. So all that sand used to be at Smith Point. Now most of it's here in the bay. The inlet is going to close someday, but hopefully it'll be open for the next maybe 25 years, maybe 30 years, maybe less, maybe more. We really don't know. But you see the shallows in here, and you see that little strip out there. You see that strip of land coming out with that. Yeah. It almost looks like a little channel. That was actually the old Smith's Inlet, which was open back in the 1700s.
Wow.
Until it closed up. But there's been a number of inlets in this area. I'm also part of Friends of Belport Bay. We do basically ecosystem restoration in Belport Bay. You can really see where the inlet was right up there right now. That's the old, I guess, the relic inlet. This area now where I'm filming here is just the sand flats. If you're going to take a nice, shot, rising up to 400 feet from, I guess, about 100 feet, sand flats in this area really, they're really kind of beautiful. Almost like works of art from nature, right? So try to get through here and take some shots of that. So this, as I was telling these guys before I came on, my main thing is, I'm first and foremost a photographer, a nature photographer, and I bought the drone to kind of give a whole different perspective on what I do. From an aerial standpoint, I do macro shots, I do landscapes, all sorts of wildlife and whatnot. But for me, this is really, drones have given such a different perspective, and I just love it. And there's times there are times I go out, I know I'm not going to need the camera, I just bring the drone, right? Yeah, depending on where I'm going.
I'll tell you, that video, I got to give you, a big round of applause, because that was an awesome video. It really was. It looked like a great place to fly. Yeah,
I have to say, if I have a criticism of my stuff, I tend not to put music to it, because a lot of times I'll watch a video and I might have another tune in my head, like maybe I don't want to hear that or something like that. But plus you have the copyright issues if you throw a Joe Satriani onto one of your videos or something like that. You get the copyright thing. So I try to keep it. I don't have the time to go looking for free music to throw in there, but it is enjoyable. That I just enjoy the heck of it. I think the Autel Evo 2 Pro it's such an amazing machine. There's so many different. It's really versatile, and also battery lasts about. I've gotten 30, 32, 34 minutes out of them. They say 40, but no, you're not going to get 40 minutes, but good 32 minutes. A lot of times it's up there. I'm like, all right, I got 4 batteries here. I'm only halfway done with this, and I think I'm done. Because it stays up in the sky for so long.
Well, I'll have to say, Rob was gracious enough to let me fly his Evo 2 last Friday, so I could say I flew an Evo 2 Pro now. I didn't go very far or high, but I wanted to say thank you, Rob, for letting me do that.
Not a problem at all.
Rob, did you have your eyes closed the whole time while he was flying?
No. Ray did just fine. My frustration when I fly the Evo 2 as compared to the Mavic 2 Pro, and you saw that a little bit, Ray. When you're trying to do a pan shot, it's extremely responsive. Right. So you get that quick jerky motion, which I don't get that with the Mavic 2 Pro. I get a nice smooth pan shot where the drone itself is not jerking. In post, you don't really see that much because the gimbal compensates for it. But flying it, to me, the Autel, and I've changed the settings 100 times to change the sensitivity, and I just can't get that where I want to for a cinematic shot.
Yeah, somebody else said that. I forget who else said
takes,
that.
It definitely takes practice. I usually fly manual all the time, so I usually don't put it on the automated modes or intelligent flight modes. But it does take. You got to really tone down the sensitivity on the pitch in the yaw and your sticks to get it down. But when I do pans or circles, I try to do the whole thing manual. Just concentrate on the crosshairs and just keep it on the subject, and keep it slow, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I agree. The Autel is coming from the Mavic Pro or the Mini or other types of DJI products. It is a bit like flying a bus compared to a sports car. I will give you that. But I'll gladly take the bus which has the better camera over over Lamborghini.
So Steve and Rob, you would probably buy a Evo Mini if they came out with one, right?
Oh, absolutely. I
wouldn't.
I really like the product.
I wouldn't. I have the Mini too.
Yeah.
That's good for me.
All right, we're gonna take a break and pull his name. We got 6 names. The names are at the bottom. We got Maddie, Brad, Jody, Rhode Island Drone Guy, Michael, Toto, and JC flying. And I know, of course, Maddie and I think Brad have a shirt. Probably JC, but if they don't want it, we'll get it to somebody else. But I'm gonna reach in and grab a name and let's see who we got here. JC.
Hey, JC, congratulations.
We'll get that out to you, JC.
Very cool.
And let's pop this second question real quick, and we'll get that business done. And
yeah, and I'll read it. What can affect your performance? A, prescription meds. B, over-the-counter meds. C, over-the-counter and prescribed meds.
Easy question.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
That or let the chat answer.
Huh?
Are we supposed to answer that or let the chat answer?
The chat.
Well, we can't put you. We won't, because you get a different response. But that's an easy question.
I tell you. Yep.
I don't know who got it first. I'll go back and check. I think
Jim Beauchamp? Was it Jim? Or did
Gary,
Brand beat him? Yep.
All right. Gary.
Okay, Gary.
We'll check it though, guys, and we try to just put those up as a little kind of study a little bit for the 107. CaptainRay is enrolled in a Part 107 Pilot Institute. So hey, he's going to be your next Part 107. Maddie is joined up with Pilot Institute. So yeah, it's great to have that knowledge. I mean, even if you don't want to make money, I know I took mine kind of on a down low,
Next thing we know, he's got his Part 107.
Well, yeah, it's something you don't want to tell people you're taking, because then you got to tell them you flunk or something,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was good.
The knowledge is good, and guys, if you're not, if you haven't taken the trust test, of course, start with that. Knowledge is power. So many people get these drones, and of course, Christmas time is not that far away. How many drones will be underneath those kids' trees, and I know you guys have all been flying, and people, they ask you, probably the 3, how far does it go, how high does it go, and how much does it cost? They nothing about safety, and it's a lot to it. You can hurt somebody with a drone. I mean, I know you think you can't, you think it's light, but hey, just stick your hands up by them blades, and you'll see.
Yeah. I've got the scars to prove it.
Yeah.
There you go. Sure. Rob, we already asked Steven, but we're going to ask you, what is your favorite drone?
This
or
is a
maybe
test question,
maybe
Rob.
even thinking of one that's coming out. Maybe you're going to wait.
My favorite drone, I actually crashed it yesterday. My favorite drone is the DJI FPV.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, I put it in full manual mode for the first time yesterday. And I was just playing around in an open park, Stillwell Field, which is by me. Plenty of space. There was no need for me to crash into a tree, but I'm like, I got it. I'm like, oh, no, I don't. And I hit the pause button a little too late. And I expected to find the FPV in pieces because I've seen all these other crash videos, but it was intact. It was
Oh, you
fine.
were lucky.
Yeah, it was fine. The two of the props had to be changed, but outside of that, it was great.
So Rob, did you
So,
fly
so how'd the
FPV?
video come out? Good video?
Yeah, it's a funny video. That is definitely gonna be posted. And to answer your question, Johnny, no, I don't fly FPV. It was my absolute first time flying in full manual.
So
mode.
I mean, you just thought it was the right time to flip it in? Is that
I've been flying it in the GPS mode,
right?
Almost since we got it. It's actually my son's drone, so if I broke it, I'd have to buy him a new one anyhow. But I wanted to try it, and it actually flies so much faster when it's in full manual as compared to the GPS mode. It's considerably slower, maybe even half the speed of when you're going in full manual. I couldn't believe how quickly I could shoot across the park.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, we saw him at the South Florida drone meetup, and I tell you, it is I love when it starts up, and I tell you what, those guys when they take off, they just it's just gone,
It's just a different type of flying, totally different type of flying.
But I'm having fun with it, Even when I'm in the GPS mode, I'm still having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I want to say Angela, Lost Girl Hikes, just got hers, I think, yesterday or the day before. She hadn't took it up yet, but she's watching some YouTube videos, and she's taking it cautiously. So, we'll kind of look forward to her videos.
Lots of luck with it, Angela. Congratulations.
And Johnny, I wanted to back up on something that when you were talking about the 107 license and trust, I have the Part 107. I also took the trust course, and a few people that I've spoken to that are Part 107 would, well, why would you do that? And the scenario that I bring up is you go to a drone meetup and like Ray flew my drone. What if my drone wasn't registered? As if you're trust certified, you now can fly that drone as a recreational pilot. Yeah. Without that, technically you're in violation. Will someone catch you? No, but you're in violation.
Well, that was always it was kind of up in the air when that first came out. Do Part 107 pilots need it? I mean, some people said yes, some people said no, and I think that the ultimate answer is yes. I think you do have to take the test.
Yep.
Is the way I understand it now.
Right. That's the way I understood it too.
It's got some legal. It's got some legal lawyer type language in there, but just take it. I mean, if you can pass the one, I mean, you can't fail the test, so just take it.
Right. It took 6 minutes to go through the course and take the test. Yep. If you know what you're doing, it really didn't take long, and it's free.
Yep.
Yeah.
How often does the government give us stuff for free in licensing? Right.
And it kind of gives you a little bit of a taste of what 107 is kind of like. A little bit. 107 is no joke. You got to study for it.
It does,
you really got to study for it.
You do, you're not going to, I mean, personally, and now, if you've been around maybe airplane, but you're not going to just waltz in that testing center and pass that 107. No. I can tell you.
The two most difficult parts for me were the sectional charts and METAR reports.
Yeah, to me it was METARs. Okay. The METARs and TAMs and
the TAFs actually. The METARs were okay. Yep. The TAFs struggled.
I didn't have a particularly lot of. I was of course worried about that part because I even called Doc and he went over some stuff with me, Doc Murdoch. But I had a lot of stuff on manned aircraft and runway type stuff, and I was very surprised at that. At least on the one I took. Now my friend, I had some guy take it about 2 or 3 weeks before me, and his sister is a real estate agent with me in the office, and he said he had a ton of questions on METAR and all of that stuff. So I know it's a pool of 240 questions, I believe. So,
well, we'll see. See what happens.
Institute covers the runway signage very well.
Yeah,
the hold points, the signage, they do cover it very well.
Yeah, I didn't take a course. I just got a book. I think I have it over here.
Okay, you learned on your own. All right.
Is he going for this one?
No, it's
got a different one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Zach Elliott, and it's got some practice exams in the back. I just read this book. There were a couple of things on YouTube, but I think you got to be careful with the 107 stuff on YouTube because some of it is very, very dated, and it's not. I wouldn't say it's not valid anymore, but it's not as
Yeah,
valid.
because I did have
yeah,
a few questions on remote ID, and they were very. It was only about 3, and it was kind of generic, you know. And probably if you hadn't been in YouTube and listening to some of the channels, you may not even know about remote ID yet. So yeah, and I got a couple. I'm gonna play a video while we talk, and this is JC. He sent this, so we can.
JC, we love getting your videos.
Yeah, JC.
Thank you for sending it.
Yeah, I guess Brent Ariels would put it that a 107 is easy compared to Canada. I believe that. That's what I heard in Canada. It's almost like taking regular pilot type school. It's no joke up there.
Yeah, and I think
very serious.
You know, a lot of questions on the Part 107 is probably overkill for a drone. But you know what? It is what it is, and you got to, you know, hey, if you want your 107, you got to take that test.
Yeah. Well, I think too is the taking the 107 and studying for it puts you in the cockpit of a pilot to see what they have to go through just to be able to fly a plane. Now, if you're a drone in their airspace, they're not looking for you. No pilot is going to say, "Oh, I wonder if there's drones around here." They've got so much other stuff they have to look at and worry about. The last thing they're going to worry about is the drone, right? Which to me, it's so important that as drone pilots, you operate the thing responsibly. Personally, and I know a lot of folks won't agree with me with this, but I think if you own a drone, it's incumbent upon yourself. Take the 107.
Yeah.
Learn what the craft is. Learn what the rules of the road are. You know, folks who have been flying for many, many years think, I know all this stuff already. You probably don't. You look at the study guide, look at the tests, take the tests. You're going to have some eye-opening moments there that are going to say, wow, you know what? I didn't realize that.
Absolutely.
So I know I had them. I think taking the 107 was a huge step for me. It really helps me enjoy the whole hobby and everything so much better because now I know, and I'm aware of what I should do and what I shouldn't do.
Yeah,
visual line of sight is visual line of sight is one of the biggest things. You know, to me, it's once it goes away, it's I can see it on the screen. Yeah, but you don't have situational awareness if it's 2-3 miles away. There's things happening there that you don't know about, and by the time it's the thing is upon you, you've lost your situational awareness, and things are coming behind you that you can't see. So
yeah, I'm gonna pop a video up of it's kind of a guy that took a video of a hurricane in downtown Hammond here, and then I'm gonna jump around. I just want to show y'all exactly where we were located. Let me see if I can. I won't play too many, but he was actually in his car doing this, and this is where I live, Hammond. Let me see if I could jump.
JC, thanks. It's not showing, Johnny, just to let you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not showing. But JC, great video.
Well, let me stop it.
Yep.
I know what I did wrong. I'm sorry.
How you doing, Carolyn? Welcome. Yep.
My first day on the job here.
Got to hit the right buttons. That's all. And I found out it's hard. It's hard to start showing videos and sharing them.
I actually clicked it off, so I'm sorry. I'm not gonna be able to. I'll show it another day. It's no big deal.
But
no,
did we get any other videos, Johnny, or no? No.
I do have. Let's see. Whose is this one? Let me see. Covered bridge. But
Rob, we asked Stephen his dream location where he would like to fly. So we're going to ask you, anywhere in the world, where would you like to fly someday?
The Amalfi Coast in Italy. I know it's not a remote location. It's a huge tourist area. But
I'm going to Italy in March.
I was supposed to go last April. But
I was supposed to go the last 2 Aprils, yeah.
COVID put a little damper on that.
On a Viking ocean cruise, actually.
that would be beautiful.
Did you hear what he said, guys? A Viking ocean cruise. Yeah. You know, that's for the rich people.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know about that. This is Mendez.
Drone Ops. How you doing? Good.
I'll jump it around a little bit. It's I think it's six minutes, but we'll. Very nice.
You know what's nice is everybody has a different style of shooting their videos. Yeah, very nice.
Oh, that's pretty. After the last 3 weeks here, that's what I need, some calming effect there. Yeah, that's a place you can just sit and relax right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, where was this, Johnny? Do you know? Mendez, can you tell us in the chat where this is?
I'm not sure, Ray.
I think it said Philadelphia, but that didn't look like Philadelphia.
Right. That's what I thought it said. Yep, Philadelphia.
Yeah, he's in the chat. Maybe he'll write it.
Yeah, he says Philadelphia.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Cool.
Yeah.
That is very, very nice.
And the other thing, guys, is don't forget, subscribe to everybody's channel. Check them out. Sometimes you think you're subscribed and you're not, but support each other and watch each other's videos when you have the time.
Yeah, great video.
Great video.
Well, guys, we went an hour. We try to keep it close to an hour. We want to thank y'all so much. It's been a pleasure, and it's been a great show. We had great numbers in here, and I've really enjoyed, and we learned a lot. And y'all are two great pilots, and y'all doing the community a good job with being a part 107 and trying to follow the rules, and that means a lot to I think everybody in the community.
Well, thanks, Matt. It's great.
Thank you. Basically, I want to say thank you to you guys also for being on the show. You were great guests. I knew you would be, and I enjoy flying with you, Rob, and I'm looking forward to flying with you, Stephen. And, I'll be waiting for the call.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to wait for that call for that boat too.
Yeah. And John,
but anyway, so Stephen,
100 gallons aren't going to get me to and from Louisiana. So, but someday.
Yeah.
If you want, you could say your goodbyes or what you thought of the show.
I thought it was great. Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Well, thank y'all.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And Rob,
come back and watch.
Yep, and Rob.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity just to get the word out, about being responsible pilots in general. Just get,
And it's Aviano Aerial Photography, correct?
Yeah, and the links in the chat. Yeah, subscribe to them. And next week, Captain Ray, we got George Feamer, who is an LSU graduate, and he's got a national championship track. He ran track for LSU, and he's from Lafayette. And I invited him to be on. He was supposed to be on a couple weeks ago, and he's right here up the road from me. And Jean Costello, and we did with her. She's I think she's part of the Long Island drone group.
Well, she's originally from Long Island. Now she's down in Tennessee, but she does some phenomenal videos.
She was in the chat tonight, so we'll have those two guests next week. And of course tonight, watch Bill Thomas is fixing to come on with the Coast to Coast drone. So tune into that and support everybody and hey, just have fun and fly safe. And we'll say good night.
Great.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Night.